Nacho Sundays, every Sunday at 6 p.m. Live on YouTube on the EBL exclusive Battle League Network. Hosted by FiboNacci Brown.
Nacho Sundays, Nacho Sundays, Nacho Sundays. Nacho Sundays, Nacho Sundays, Nacho Sundays. Nacho cheese, beefy, nacho veggie, nacho supreme, nacho Sunday.
Nacho Sundays. Where it's not
Sunday.
your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion.
Nacho
Hosted by
Sunday.
FiboNacci Brown.
Nacho Sunday. Nacho cheese, beefy, nacho veggie, nacho supreme,
Nacho Sundays. Where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. Hosted by FiboNacci Brown.
Nacho Sunday. Nacho cheese, beefy, nacho veggie, nacho supreme, nacho Sundays. Nacho Sundays. Nacho Sundays. Nacho Sundays.
Hosted by FiboNacci Brown. Don't forget to go to FiboNacciBrown.com to get your copy of Growing Down.
Nacho Sundays. Nacho Sundays.
Brought to you by the exclusive Battle League Network. EBL. What up, Dope Family? You are now a part of FiboNacci Brown's Nacho Sundays. This is our third episode, brought to you by the exclusive Battle League Network. I want to thank you guys for joining me on this third installment. I want to make sure that I am giving back all the support and love that I've been receiving. I appreciate you guys for pulling up to spend time with me on this Sunday. I know that you could be doing a million other things, but to just lend me your ears for a little bit of time to hear my opinion, I truly do appreciate you, because this is Nacho Sundays, where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. So we're going to get a couple of things out of the way before we dig into our nachos this Sunday. First of all, people, I want to talk to you about my hair. Okay. I know my hair is a little different this week. And I did straighten my hair, and I tried something called heatless curls. And in doing these heatless curls, it was kind of cool, you know, but ultimately my hair said, no, we're not gonna hold this curl. So these were heatless curls earlier today, but as a truly curly girl, my hair was like, not today, sis. So here we are. This will probably be in a ponytail by the evening, but I said I do want to share this with y'all because I made an attempt. I was real cute earlier. You should have seen me. For real. Anywho, again, welcome to Nacho Sundays, where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. I am your host, FiboNacci Brown, and I'm going to be getting some announcements out of the way because we got a lot of things coming up, and I want to make sure that I'm sharing and putting those things out there so you can participate, because I'm going to be in the space checking out the place. You understand? So first of all, make sure you're tuning in every morning, Monday to Saturday, to Wave and Blaze, also brought to you by the EBL Network, hosted by EBL Dave. And that's again on Mondays to Saturdays from 7 to 9 a.m. So this is going to be in the morning. So if you are getting ready for work in the morning, you want to hear what's kind of going on in the world, tune in to Wave and Blaze. Dave got you covered. He can do everything but the weather. Unless you have something like Michigan weather where you get all of the seasons in one day, that might make national news. So he might cover it if that's the case. But make sure you're checking out Dave with Wave and Blaze Monday to Saturday at 7 a.m. in the morning. Also, we have Speaking of Dave, we have an EBL roast for Dave's birthday coming up on March 12th. That's going to be on a Sunday. It's going to actually start in the morning with a special airing edition of Wave and Blaze for Dave's birthday. We are going to happily roast him. If you have ever seen Dave's hairline, you will want to be there. It is his birthday. We are going to run it up on his Cash App as well. But this is going to be going on all day long. It's going to be the roast of Dave. I hear he's getting a special sweatshirt made. I want to be there. I can't wait to see the antics. If you know anything about the EBL bunch, you know they're going to be relentless when you give them a okay to go ahead and roast. It's going to be nothing but shenanigans. I'm here for it. Also, we have Wayne Almighty, who just dropped an album a little over a week ago called West Seattle Menace. Make sure you pick that up. If you put in West Seattle Menace into your YouTube search bar, it will definitely pull up the playlist of his album. Give your ears a treat. Take a listen to this album. This is good music right here. It's worth it. Like I really appreciate when I can get good music, and Wayne provides that. This is a dope creation and contribution to rap music. So make sure you take a listen. It's called West Seattle Menace from EBL's own Wayne Almighty. Make sure you check that out. Also, had to get that water. Also, make sure on March 16th, you pull up to the 2v2 card hosted by EBL. This is a 2v2 card of 10 teams. 10 teams so far. I don't know if there's some surprises that may be working in the background, but so far, 10 teams paying an entry fee into a pot. Best team wins the pot. There will also be donations made to the pot. So the pot is not going to be just what the teams contribute, but it's also going to be the collection of the donations for the people that want to see these teams go head up against each other. So 10 teams are going to go against each other. The best team wins the pot at the end of the battle. This is going to be on March 16th. It's called the Co-op card, hosted by EBL. Make sure if you want to donate to the pot, you can send those donations to $CEOEBL. That again, that's $CEOEBL. There are going to be some dope matchups in this whole battle. I'm telling you, I know for a fact Miss Vicious and Nerdy Chef are on teams. I believe they are called FemC Squared. They are going to be going up against Chuck AR and Pooh Bear. They are, of course, representing NDR, which is New Death Row. I can't wait to see that one, especially because FemCs are one of the only female teams on this card, and they have some tough top opponents. So I really want to see how that goes down. That's going to be happening again on March 16th. Make sure you send in your donations. You want to contribute to this event. This is going down March 16th. Send the donations to $CEOEBL, and you can send those all the way up until the event. So don't be shy. Don't hold back. I only named one team or two teams going up against each other on this card. There are going to be 4 more matchups. So make sure you are tapping in with EBL so that you can see the full card, see who is all on there. Maybe your favorite rapper has teamed up with somebody. I do know for a fact Jay Normus is on this card. I know Spasmatic is on this card. If these are some names that you want to see, this is the card. Tune in March 16th and make sure you send in your donations. Okay, so to kind of round out our announcements, I want to make sure that I big up myself. I am FiboNacci Brown. I have a book out. This book is called Growing Down: The Masculinization of the Black American Woman. This project is near and dear to my heart. It is a volume 1 installment. It talks about experiences that I've had being a Black woman in this country with masculinization and how it impacts me and women like me. And I am making an attempt to reclaim our femininity and not allow our femininity to be claimed and stated to us by other people who don't share our experience. So that's it in a nutshell. Make sure you can pick up your copy of my book, Growing Down, at FiboNacciBrown.com. Here's what it looks like. And for a limited time, I am sending autographed copies. So the first batch of my books will be autographed copies. The autographed copy can be purchased online in this first round. So the book is also on sale for $19.99, down from $22. So not only will you be getting it at a sale introductory price, but you will also be getting an autographed copy. After this batch, first batch of books is gone, I will definitely be charging more for autographed copies. So get yours while you can at the discounted price, because prices will be going up to the regular price, and it'll definitely be more than that for autographed copies. So rounding out our announcements. Oh, don't let me oh my goodness, I almost forgot this. How could I forget this? Our Is We Poddin' family had an amazing interview with Danny Myers. If you have not checked out the interview that Is We Poddin' did on their show, their podcast called Fourth Round, I don't know what you're doing with life. That interview was a dope interview. Danny made some call outs in there that I'm sure will pique some interest. I know it piqued my interest. I'm a Danny Myers fan, so anytime somebody makes his radar, I'm always anxious to kind of see how that turns out, because he doesn't disappoint in his battles. So make sure you are checking out the Fourth Round Is We Poddin' family in their interview with Danny Myers. They also have another dope interview coming up. Before I move any further, let me make sure that I let you know that that interview that they did on Fourth Round was their very first interview installment for their Fourth Round podcast. So they are also going to be coming up with their second installment happening on Monday. I believe that's March 6th. And it's going to be with none other than A Ward. Okay. I'm pulling up. Is We Poddin'? You guys are killing it on the Fourth Round interviews. I am definitely ready to see what A Ward has to say. Danny was not holding back in his interview, and I want to see if A Ward is going to do the same. You guys do an amazing job as always. So I'm ready to see you guys kill it. I'm going to slide over to my chats. My chat is going right now. I First person in my chat. Thank you, King. EBL King, always showing me love. I appreciate you. And I have a crush on this guy. I'm gonna just go ahead and admit it. 21XL. You know how I feel. That's my crush, y'all. I'm gonna let that out, let that be known. Pulling up every Sunday without fail. Thank you. I see Jules is in the chat. I appreciate you for pulling up again. Thank you so much, Commodity. Y'all, I love it. Oh my goodness. 702. Thank you so much for pulling up to the chat. Dark Matter. Coat to go. Let's go. I see you, Coat. Oh my goodness. Joey 9. I appreciate you pulling up. Thank you so much. Y'all don't let me down. You guys make sure that you y'all get me every week. I stay with a big smile on my face. How can I not with support like this? Y'all make me feel so good and so happy to be a part of such a big, beautiful thing like EBL, Exclusive Battle League Network. You guys are tuning in to Nacho Sundays, where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. This is my third episode. I'm excited. I'm ready to dig into the nacho. And we are going to start off with the nacho cheese portion of our show. And in the nacho cheese portion, we talk about passive ways to make income or easy ways to save money. And I think that I have found 3 ways that are very easy for you to save money. Who don't like to save money? So, first way we're going to save money. I know that some of you guys watching may be consumers of the brand Nike. Some of you guys might have Nike gym shoes, Nike shoes. If you do, make sure that you are paying attention to the manufacturer number issued to your Nike shoes, because what you can do if your shoes are less than 2 years old, you can take them back to where you bought them and receive a new pair of shoes for the equal purchase price of the shoes that you bring back to them. This is a manufacturer guarantee. So even if you do not have a receipt, even if the store says, oh, our return policy is X amount of days, Nike has guaranteed this to you for being a purchaser of their product. So this includes your Foot Lockers, your Foot Actions, wherever you're going to get your gym shoes. If your Nikes are less than 2 years old, you can show your serial or your manufacturer number inside your shoe. That can be verified that your shoes are less than 2 years old, and you can receive a brand new pair of shoes. So I mean, I'm going to get. I don't even like Nike like that. Let me be clear. First of all, I'm not a fan like that. But I'm going to get my shoes. That's happening. So I know that I've seen some confessionals online where people have definitely gone back to the store. They got a little bit of hassle, but once it was verified, they got new shoes. So I'm going to get mine. They lucky the ones I got are older than 2 years, but under 2 years, go get your new shoes. Similar in the same similar fashion, Bath and Body Works, you can return anything for any reason at any time and receive 100% replacement of your item. Where if you have, okay, now fellas, I know some of your ladies might have the bathroom counters completely full with their Bath and Body smell goods. They got lotions and body washes and body sprays and all these different things. If they halfway use some of that stuff and then decide, you know what, I don't like this smell anymore. This smell is just too much. I don't want this. They can take all of that half-used stuff back to Bath and Body Works and replace all of it with brand new stuff, brand new scents of equal or lesser value. You let me just make it plain. We're not exchanging any cash here. They're not exchanging any receipts. They aren't, you're not showing anything other than the item. So when you're going back to the store with your Nikes, you're not taking a receipt. You're taking your Nike with the serial number inside that shows that it's less than 2 years old. When you're going back to Bath and Body Works, you're just taking your half used or empty bottles back, saying, you know what, I don't like these anymore. I want all new stuff because the smell is like, too much now. And you're gonna get new stuff. That's dope. Like it's like you pay one time and then it's for life. You just go back and get your new stuff. In a similar fashion, this is also true of one of my favorite stores. I don't know if any of you guys are aware that Costco is the exact same way. Return anything for any reason for a full refund. Full refund. All your money. Yes. Now, let me be clear. This policy at Costco, I know for sure this excludes electronics. I believe the electronics return policy is 90 days, but it may be specific to the type of electronics. So if you are trying to apply what I'm saying to electronics, this will not work. Make sure you follow up with Costco to find out what the electronics return policy is for your electronics purchase. However, anything else, definitely, definitely, you can return and get a full refund. I was personally shocked about some of these policies. I didn't know that it was so easy and so hassle free. A lot of times when we get ready to return something to these stores, we get a little anxiety sometimes. It's like, I don't feel like going through all this. I feel like they're going to give me a hard time. I feel like it's going to be an issue. And what we have to start doing is reading up on these return policies before we go to the stores, because a lot of times these policies are written to support the customer. They want us to come back. They want us to be happy with our purchase. They want us to be happy as a customer so we continue to spend our money and include them in our economic cycle of spending. So it's going to benefit us to make sure that we're reading up on these policies to see what the return policy actually is, because sometimes what I'm finding out, a lot of the reasons why we have the anxiety we do about making the returns is because some of these customer service representatives, they're not educated all the way on what the return policy is. And I have seen in instances where the customer can sometimes know a little bit more than what the representative knows, and they do have to, pull a let me speak to the manager kind of thing. But again, I'm not encouraging anybody to go out here and be Karens. I'm just saying, know the policy of the stores where you shop and spend your money, because you could be overlooking some valuable return policies that you might end up stuck with something you really don't like, and you don't have to be. You can actually go back to the store and say, hey, you know what? I'm not feeling this anymore. I need to return this, or I need my money back, because Costco is like straight refunds. Now, I'm not sure if that's the case with Bath and Body Works. Like I said, I think it's product to product with Bath and Body Works, but Costco is giving you your actual bread back. Now, as a bonus, um, I do know that the makeup brand MAC, their lip gloss, once you buy a lip gloss, you can definitely, you getting low, you can go back to the Mac store and get your lip gloss replaced. Now, I'm not sure if that applies to their other makeup. I'm not big on makeup. I would not know what to do. Lip gloss is like, yeah, but much past that, I need to pay somebody. I have no idea. So I don't know if this applies to other makeup, but definitely with the lip gloss, you can go back and take your old lip gloss and get it replaced for a new lip gloss. Now, I'm going to slide over to my chat because I'm seeing some things going on over here. I definitely want to make sure I'm paying attention to my chat. I appreciate you guys for pulling up like you do for me on these Sundays, spending time with me starting at 6 o'clock. I couldn't be happier. I see you, SK. Okay, sir. How's baby girl? I hope she's good. Thank you, Maze. Thank you for pulling up to my show. I appreciate you. Okay, is we podding? Again, make sure you guys are tapping into the fourth round podcast with the Is We Podding family. They are going to be interviewing none other than A Ward. I expect nothing less than a great interview. If you haven't already, go check out that Danny Myers interview. They killed it. Danny had some call outs. He told a couple of folks to suit up. So we gonna see what happens. I see Ziggy Marley in my chat. Thank you for pulling up. Okay, Dave. Dave finally put up. Dave, they can't wait until March 12th. People your hairline is legendary already. Your hairline, I'm telling you, the jokes are piling up. They can't wait. Oh my God. Okay, so is this an exclusive? So fourth round, you guys are going to be also interviewing none other than C3 the following Monday. This, okay, wait a minute. Let me get some water, because the very first fourth round interview, this was with Danny Myers, okay? The very first one. Then your second interview coming up Monday is going to be A Ward. And then the following Monday, you have C3. Okay, talk about do something big. Yes, Dave, we out here. I see this. I appreciate you, Phil. Thank you for pulling up. This week is shaping up to be something really amazing. Starting your Sundays with Nacho Sundays, where it's Nacho opinion, it's Nacho's opinion at 6 p.m. every Sunday, and then carrying that energy over to your Monday morning with Wave and Blaze with Dave. And then we got all these hot interviews lined up. We got a 2v2 coming up in March. I'm excited. Like, it's good times. Spring is bringing in some great things. I love when things pop off in the spring part of the year. It's new, it's fresh, and I think EBL is about to take complete advantage of all of the newness that spring has to offer. Yes, indeed, we out here. I like it, Dave. I'm gonna start saying that. We out here. We are going to take a moment to take a small break to thank our sponsors, and we will be back shortly.
now listening to the Nacho Podcast, brought to you by the EBL Network. If it ain't exclusive, it don't matter. It's not your time to talk, it's time to listen. So pull up to the table with your plate and pay attention. It's not your time to talk, not your Sunday. It's something different. This is not your opinion, and you don't wanna miss it. It's not your time to talk. It's time for the show.
A woman is the most potent expression of feminine energy in the harmonic equation of the human experience. Growing Down, an observation of the masculinization of the Black American woman, Volume 1. Get your copy at FiboNacciBrown.com. And we're back. I wanted to make sure we gave a shout out to our chat and a shout out to our sponsors. We are going to move into the beefy nacho portion of our show today. And this is going to get a little deep, everyone. In the beefy nacho portion of our show, we talk about beef in the world, wherever it may exist, from one end of beef to the other. And in this week's beefy nacho, we are going to talk about crack era survivors versus the government for reparations. Now, if that's too deep, feel free to click out now, check out somebody else's live, because this is right here is Nacho Sundays, where is Nacho opinion is Nacho's opinion, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Let me give some salutes in my chat. I see Nicole. Thank you so much for pulling up to my show today. I appreciate you. Yes. So in the beefy nacho, we are talking about crack era survivors versus the government for reparations. Reparations right now, when you hear that conversation with respect to Black people, a lot of times you hear it with the reference to slavery. What a lot of people don't realize is that it may be a lot of emotional baggage attached to reparations for slavery. However, we are in a time where we are absolutely owed reparations for a much more recent epidemic that impacted our communities, imposed on us by our government, and they are absolutely at fault, and we can absolutely prove it. So right now, when you look at the definition of what reparations is, it's the making of amends for a wrong when it's to be acknowledged. So they are in order to give reparations, they are acknowledging that they have absolutely wronged a people. Well, that people is going to be Black America. Black America has suffered more than any other race of people in this country when it comes to the crack era epidemic / experiment. This experiment was unleashed in urban communities. It was only unleashed in urban communities. And when laws were created to control it, those laws were designed to only target Black people. Prisons were filled with people who were considered addicts, but they were not treated as if they had illnesses. These people were treated as criminals. So where we see in much more current times with the opioid epidemic, these people are treated as if they are sick and need medical attention. While when you look back in the 80s and in late or early 90s, late 80s of the crack epidemic, these people were treated as if they had actually committed crimes. You could see it in the felony charges for crack possession. The people who were charged with those felonies were actually Black people. There was a time they did a study where they showed that in the city or in Los Angeles, there were absolutely no white people arrested under the crack law. And it was only Black people who went to jail for that. In addition, they actually tried to treat pregnant crack addicted mothers as if they were peddling drugs to a minor because they were pregnant and they were addicted. These women were not offered medical help. These women were not offered any type of attention as if there was a sickness involved. There was actually a nurse who would see Black women come in who were pregnant and would ask them questions about their drug use. And when they're explaining, like, I have a problem, I do know that, I can't control this, I need some help, this nurse was actually secretly testing them for crack, asking them where they were getting crack, and then calling the police to arrest these women. And some of these women actually had their babies taken from them because this woman decided she was going to secretly test them for this drug. And rather than offer them help from a hospital, this woman was a nurse, rather than offer them help in a hospital, she decided to call the police and turn them into criminals. So when you look at these laws that were created based on this crack experiment / epidemic that was launched in these urban communities, these laws were targeted at Black people. They only targeted Black people. Regardless of anybody else who may have used this drug, it was treated as if anybody using it was a criminal. The problem with that is that you are giving time to sick people. You aren't treating them like they need medical help, medical attention. You've got Nancy Reagan riding shotgun in tanks, knocking down homes with children in them, fighting the drug war. And rather than look at it like, you have heartbroken families losing loved ones to a illness that is produced by an over accessibility to a drug, you have people really putting on, they have a military mentality, like a military style and approach to addicts. Like the solution doesn't fit the problem, but the reason it doesn't fit the problem is because the same people are behind both. So when you can look as far or as shortly back as the 80s, and also have a measurable of what happened in the 80s, the children of what happened in the 80s, and then the generation following that, you have more of a case to be able to get and receive reparations for the crack era epidemic experiment, I believe. And again, this is Nacho Sundays, where this is Nacho opinion is Nacho's opinion. I believe that you have more of a case that can be made than you do with the games they're going to try to play with you to get reparations from slavery. Because they are definitely, I think that we are not fully giving enough attention to our who we're trying to approach when it comes to the reparations discussion, if we don't think they're going to try to play with us when it comes to who qualifies for reparations. It's not going to be just because you're brown. Okay, let's be clear that it's not going to be that easy. Look at what they're doing in California. Look at how they're trying to give reparations in California. And you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm not going to get into that here because I could do a whole Nacho Sunday. I could do a Nacho Mondays on that. That's a whole show by itself. But just take, if you're interested in reparations, take a look at what they're doing in California with reparations. And it might connect a little more why I'm saying you have a equally strong case for reparations from the crack era epidemics experiments. Also, to me, it's worth it. Look at the communities that were damaged and look at the family. One thing we don't do when it comes to looking at the crack era. We kind of tend to glorify the dealer, and the 80s way of glorifying the dealer, that came from earlier behaviors toward the dealer, because the dealer was the Robin Hood in the neighborhood. He filled in the financial gaps. Grandma wasn't going to lose her house because the dope man covered it. You didn't have to worry about the babies not having stuff for school because the dope man covered. We're talking 50s and 60s. That personality of the drug dealer changed when you got into the crack era. Crack helped to introduce behaviors when it came to urban drug dealing that were not normal. Okay. The dealer became younger. The drug was new, and the retaliation was harsh. The retaliation was a deletion, where it wasn't so prominent prior to the 80s like it was in the 80s. So crack itself added an element to that urban economy that wasn't there before. And I do say urban economy because drugs in urban communities definitely created an economy where there wasn't one. It was definitely creating streams of incomes for families that didn't exist before, that were quicker than traditional streams of income. Let's just say that. So when you have crack entering communities, it hit a lot harder than drugs prior. And it basically decimated communities. You saw entire blocks wiped out with zombies because of one drug. One drug. And this destroyed generations. Generations. So it's you have witnesses still alive from the crack era. Okay? How do you think you could find a slave that could testify on behalf of you receiving reparations? But while you making fun of these crackheads, those are your witnesses. Thank you for tuning in to Nacho Sundays, where this is Nacho opinion, is Nacho's opinion. And yes, I said it. Those are your witnesses for your reparations case. So you might want to think about that when it comes to just being able to position yourself to have a real discussion about reparations. Let's not get so involved that we're romanticizing the conversation about reparations around slavery, and we aren't even paying attention to what's actually happening to us in recent times, where we actually have evidence still here. So I'm that's just my opinion. Again, this is Nacho Sundays, where it's Nacho opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. And I think we need to be going after crack era experiment reparations. I said it. Now we're going to move on to the veggie nacho portion of our show. And in the veggie nacho portion, we talk about health. Now, before I slide too deeply into the health section, let me make sure I acknowledge a very important part of my show, which is my chat. And my chat, y'all are over here having a good time. Okay, so I see. Thank you, Caliber, for pulling up. He said he likes this. I appreciate you for pulling up to my show. Yes, did y'all hear Nicole? She put it in capital letters. Make sure when you come in to have a fun Nacho Sundays with me, where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion, you are hitting the like button. Like and share and comment, engage. Give us a share on your pages and platforms. We appreciate you pulling up, but make sure you're showing some love and support. Thank you, Nicole, for reminding them. Talk to them, Jules. I'm not going to read your comment, but I see you. I see you. Dave said we need a Women's Wednesday hosted by Nachi. I need to definitely bring in some of my sisters on a show like that. I would love to have a women's discussion and really keep it real with some sisters. That would be fun, I think. Okay. Phil is hanging out with us. He's still in the chat. Thank you so much for pulling up to the show. Yeah, you see when you bring up things like what's going on right now with meth and that other one that start with a F. When you bring up those and you see what's happening and you see how they're treating it, it lets you know just how awful things were in the crack era. There, none of those resources were available. None of those people were looking. Even when you saw somebody who was addicted to crack, you didn't look at someone and say, no, we need to get them some help. There are resources available. We have different places where you can go and pull in resources for your kids and for your families. And we could talk and do counseling. There wasn't none of that. These women they were the breadwinners in their families, turned just a part of the streets with no help. None. The people who got the sympathy in this era were the drug dealers and their friends, the friends they lost in the game. That's who got the sympathy, not crack moms, not working dads who just wanted a release and didn't drink and thought crack might be a way to do it, and boom, you're hooked. Now your family's destroyed. None of those fallen soldiers got any recognition. It was the dealers who had this glamorous life they made off of killing their neighborhoods and the people around them. They were not the dealers of old where they took care of the neighborhood. So I see you guys talking it up in the chat. I appreciate you keeping the discussion healthy and having a good back and forth. But like I said, moving on, we are going to get into the veggie nacho portion of Nacho Sundays, where we are going to talk about, in this episode of the veggie nacho, we're going to talk about water. Okay. Now, if you're like me, you pay attention to the different types of water out there. And I'm going to talk about a couple of different types and why I drink the water that I drink. And again, this is Nacho Sundays, whereas Nacho opinion is Nacho's opinion. So I'm not trying to push anything on you. I'm just sharing my experience and why I'm kind of moving how I'm moving. If you can have a takeaway from what I'm saying, great. But I do want to be here to share it with you. So initially, there was this big boom about alkaline water, right? So everybody was on alkaline water. They wanted to, get their pH together. And, sometimes people didn't even realize what pH meant or what alkaline water even does to your body. They just thought it was just a healthy water that was better than tap water. So they started drinking it. So let's talk about, and this is going to be really brief. I don't want to get too deep into the science. I can, but I want to go over this on a surface level just to give you some things to chew on so that you can take it back and do your own research and experience the information for yourself so you can do what's best for you. Because on Nacho Sundays, this is Nacho opinion is Nacho's opinion. So again, I'm sharing. So we're going to start with, like I said, alkaline water. Alkaline water is water that has an adjusted pH level. pH stands for potential hydrogen. So when you are drinking alkaline water and it has like a 8 pH and a 9 pH and a 9.5 pH, you are drinking something that has a higher pH than your body's normal pH should be. Okay. So your normal body pH should be at about 7.3. Okay. Now 7.3 is about midway. So on a pH scale, you can have 0 to about, I believe it's like 15. So we're looking at 7.3. Now on a scale of 0 to about 15, that's roughly a little bit mid, okay? So when you have a water that you're drinking and that water is an 8.5, if your pH level in your body is already a 7.3, you do not need high alkaline water. Okay. So keep that in mind that if you already have a good pH level in your body where you're roughly around 7.3, 7.5, you don't need to drink increased alkaline water at an 8, 8.5. You don't need that. People who need to drink high alkaline water are people who have acidic pHs. Okay. An acidic pH is a pH where it's conducive to grow candida, yeast, cancer. So if you are someone who has a highly acidic body, you are the ones who should be consistently drinking alkaline water, because that's going to help to level out your acidity in your body to get you at a normal pH. If you are coming off of maybe you had a cold, maybe you were taking some cold over the counter cold medicines, or maybe you were taking some medicine cycling for something, maybe you had to take antibiotics, or you take what do you call some like stuff for your allergies, things like that. If you have something like that, maybe you want to kind of detox some of that out of your body. Again, you might want to be drinking alkaline water, but this is not something, in my opinion, that I think you should be drinking on a continued basis. It's just for a short time to kind of level out the pH in your body so that it's either not so high or not so low. So again, I wouldn't be drinking alkaline water on a consistent basis. I don't think it's healthy. But again, you have some people who were just drinking this water because they thought it was just a healthy alternative to tap water. Make sure you know what you're doing when you're drinking this stuff, because if you have a good pH, don't mess it up with alkaline water. You'll be drinking this water, your pH level will go off, and you're thinking something else is wrong, and it's really the water. Another type of water out there is purified water. So purified water is where this water is processed with an electric charge to blast particles out of it or impurities out of it. And then the molecules are forced back together without those impurities. And then it's bottled and sold to you. Now, the problem that I have with purified water, and again, this is Nacho Sundays, where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. So if you don't like what I'm saying about purified water, you don't got to listen. But I'm going to share this with you. Because of the electric process that brings together purified water, we have to understand that water has memory. Okay. Now I know you like, Nacho, what you talking about? You about to go deep. You was already deep on the crack thing in the beefy Nacho. Now here you are in the veggie Nacho talking about water has memory. Yes, water has memory. And just to keep it brief, if you want to see a demonstration of water having memory, there was an experiment done by a doctor named Dr. Emoto, where he has several water experiments, but he did an experiment specifically called the rice water experiment. In this experiment, there were 3 vials of water in rice, and each vial had a different mantra. The first vial, Dr. Emoto said or told us this vial, thank you. He said thank you to this vial every day for 30 days. The next vial, he said, you're an idiot. You're an idiot every day for 30 days. The third vial, he ignored. In the course of the 30 days of these vials of rice, hearing what he was saying, the first vial that he said thank you to began to ferment, smell sweet, and actually produce a plant. The vial that he said you're to turned black. Nothing grew. It turned black. And the one that he ignored rotted. So, what that is demonstrating to you is that this water was able to have something impressed upon it from the words out of the doctor's mouth that ultimately resulted in a reaction by how the plant or the rice responded in the water. So, water has memory. And when you are looking at what happens in purified water, where it's blasted apart to have these particles removed from it and then forced back together in another electrical process and then bottled up and given to you, your body is 70% water. Is that the memory you want to pour into your body to tell the rest of your water to blast particles apart and force back together through an electrical charge you may or may not have, depending on your diet? I don't want to drink water that tells my body to blast particles apart and pull them back together in the hopes that we'll have the energy necessary to do such. So I don't fool with purified water at all under any circumstances. I don't drink it. Again, this is Nacho Sundays, where it's Nacho opinion, it's Nacho's opinion, and I'm not fooling with purified water. Okay. Now, another type of water is distilled water. Okay. Distilled water is water you get when you steam it. So if you put some water that you want to purify into a pot and you're boiling it and you have a glass catcher where you catch all the steam that boils up, the water that's collected on the glass from the steam is your distilled water. Now, again, I've told you that water has memory, and when you boil this water to steam it so that you steam the impurities out, you're stripping the water. So rather than just drink distilled water stripped of everything, if you are going to drink distilled water, you want to make sure you're adding the things back to it that you want to put into your body. You have some people that do like protein shakes in the mornings or like a meal prep shake. I would say you could use distilled water for that because you're adding things back to the water. And that way, when you take it in, you're putting things in it that are good for you. You're not drinking water that's stripped. Because here's my thinking. Okay. This is my opinion on Nacho Sundays, where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. I feel like if you drink distilled water and you don't put anything in it, just like you stripped everything out of it when you distilled it in the steam, you're going to strip everything out of your body when you drink it. That's what I think. Now, I don't know if that's scientifically factual, but something in my spirit is telling me if I'm going to drink that water, I need to put something in it because there's nothing in it. It's empty. I'm not getting anything out of drinking that water. And I do notice that when I did mess around and drink a bottle of water that was distilled, I was still thirsty. I felt like it stripped me, like I still felt like I needed more water. And I'm like, why am I thirsty drinking more water? So if you're going to do distilled water, again, add something to it. If you've got like little, what do you call those? Like little squirt things you put in your water that add like water enhancers. If you're going to enhance your waters, you can definitely use those with distilled water. It'll definitely make it so that you can get something out of the water you're drinking. The last type of water I'm going to talk about is spring water. This is the water that I prefer to drink. Spring water is supposed to come from a spring. It moves along a spring where it collects in very fine amounts minerals that are needed for the body, where you actually get something out of your body or out of your water for your body, and you don't have to do anything to it. You don't have to blast the particles apart and steam it and mess with the pH of it. You don't have to do all of these things. So if you drink the spring water, it should already be full of all the minerals and things that you get from a spring that your body can use. So I I like spring water for daily drinking. If I haven't been like, if unless I have like I'm fighting a allergy or something where I have to take some antibiotics, or if I have over the counter drugs I'm taking. If I take too much Tylenol, sometimes I like to detox. I might do like a alkaline water or something to kind of pull that out. But for a daily basis, I'm definitely going to be drinking spring water. It gives you something back out of the water you're drinking. And to me, anything you're eating or consuming, your body should be receiving a benefit from it. You shouldn't be eating things and receiving an empty result. So if spring water makes it so that you're drinking water that gives you something back, you don't have this empty result. And good spring water, you shouldn't feel thirsty after you're drinking it. It shouldn't dehydrate you more. So I that's my choice of the waters that I named. I know there are some other waters out there. Some people are like, I drink artisan water and I drink seltzer water and all of this stuff. And I do like some artisan waters. I like Fiji, but on a daily basis, I'm probably gonna do like maybe. I don't know if I can be shouting out people like that. I don't want to shout out no brand. I'm going to just say spring water. I don't want to be getting in trouble or nothing. So spring water is my choice for daily water consumption. All right. So moving into the last part of our nacho, which is going to be the Nacho Supreme. In the Nacho Supreme portion of the show, this is where we talk about knowledge and life nuggets, things that I would like to share with you about life that maybe I wish somebody would have told me when I was younger, or just being able to share some things that I think are dope about getting through this thing called life. So if I can share some knowledge nuggets that help you get through this thing called life too, we're going to do it here in the Nacho Supreme. And in this portion of the Nacho Supreme, I want to talk to you guys about financial legacy. Okay? Financial legacy. We are in the first quarter of 2023. Okay? I wish somebody would have pulled me aside at in 25 years ago and told me about the value and benefits of an LLC. Okay? How many of my viewers have an LLC? If you have an LLC, put a one in the chat and let me know if you have an LLC. Because an LLC is a great way to build a steady nest egg that can help you pass something down to other members in your family if you work it right. So once you create an LLC, you can protect your LLC a lot of times with an S corp, and then you can protect your S corp a lot of times by putting a lot of things into a trust. And when you have everything in a trust, you don't have to worry about probate courts. You don't have to worry about your family fighting at the end of anything, because everything is in a trust and already designated. It keeps everything peaceful. It organizes your finances, and it gives an intelligent strategy to your family legacy. So in the knowledge nugget today, I encourage you to get your family finances in order. Do things at your young self that your elder self will thank you for. If you are in your 20s and you have your own place, the best thing you can do is get an LLC and start writing off your utilities and some of your home expenses under your LLC, so that at the end of the year, when tax time comes and you can write all of these things off, you get some of your money back. You like going out on the weekends, you like hanging out, you like clubbing, you like partying. Keep your receipts and write them off under your LLC. It's called meals. You could be entertaining for your business going out every weekend. You like door dashing? You like to door dash lunch a lot? Meals. You working from home? You got you have to use lights to work from home. Guess what? You can write off some of your utilities under your LLC working from home. And that includes a portion of the rent. That includes your cable bill, because you need the internet to be able to run your business. You need television to make sure that your advertising for your business ideas are generating. So a lot of the things that we could write off under an LLC to where we can get some of that money back that we're spending and reallocate those funds into our legacy so we can grow our businesses and have something to pass down to our families that we ultimately protect through S corps and trusts. We need to get our financial business together. It's so important. And the younger you start, the better. One of the best things I did for one of my sons was to make sure that I had a credit card where I could make him a rider. And that way, because I'm taking care of the payments on that card, he's now got excellent credit. And he don't even know the card exists. So get your financial legacy together and get it together early. I know a lot of people tell you should be having fun while you're young. No, you should be working smart to make it so that when you are older, you're not trying to figure out your future. Fun is for older people. It's not for young folks. If you're going to have fun while you're young, you be smart. Write those fun times off as meals and entertainment for business prospects. Learn how to be smart about how you're spending your money so that you know how to reinvest in yourself and take advantage of some of the things that we see other wealthy people do that we think are far out of our reach. The best thing we can do is be financially savvy while we're young. If you do not have an LLC, get one. If you got $200 to spend, you already have more than enough money to get an LLC started. And as soon as you get your LLC started, make sure you get it registered, get your EIN number, go to your bank, wherever your debit card is, go to that same bank and open up a business account. And then every time you put gas in your car, put it in your car to your business account. Because guess what you're going to do with it? You're going to write it off under your business. So let's get financially savvy, guys. We don't have to be out here looking for streams of income when we are really sitting on ways to be smarter about our money. And the sooner we can do that, the better. I wish I would have started my LLC when I was in my 20s. I could have made a whole lot of different moves then than what I can make now. So I'm passing that nugget on to you guys, anybody that can use it. Now, don't get me wrong, it is never too late to start an LLC. So if you are at home and you are filing taxes, get your LLC going, because even if you don't have an actual work from home business, if you are thinking about having a business, get an LLC and get it started. That can be beneficial to you in the long run. Now, I'm going to slide over to my chat because I see a couple of comments in here. I appreciate you guys for pulling up to the third episode of Nacho Sundays, where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. You guys are showing me so much love. I appreciate every bit of it. Dave said, Nachi about to have all of us smart water stock go down. This is not what I'm trying to do again. I want you guys to make sure that you are researching what I'm saying. Make sure that you have your own experience with the information, because this is Nacho Sundays, where it is not your opinion. It is Nacho's opinion. I don't want y'all getting in trouble for anything that comes out of my mouth. So you need to have your own experience with the information. Please go look it up. Smart water, he didn't mean it. Phil is laughing at Dave. I'm laughing at Dave too. Yeah, okay. Julian said, I was forced to get. Oh, no, I'm not reading that. I don't even, I'm not reading that. I appreciate you too, Nicole. Thank you guys so much for pulling up with me today on Nacho Sundays. We have come to the end of our show. I'm so glad you guys are coming in each week to hang out with me and talk with me and listen to the crazy things on my mind and find out what my opinion is on certain things. Listen, if you guys want to chat, want me to talk about something, feel free to reach out to me through my social medias. You can catch me on Twitter, FiboNacci Brown. You can also reach out to me on Instagram, where I'm also going by FiboNacci Brown. Don't hesitate. I will definitely, if I can work it in, I will definitely make sure to get those topics on the show. Before I close out, I want to make sure that you guys are coming right back here to the EBL Exclusive Battle League Network for Wave and Blaze with Dave every Monday through Saturday, starting at 7 a.m. in the morning. We don't know when that's going to stop. So, I've seen it go all the way till noon, but we're going to start at 7 a.m. Make sure that you also pull up on March 12th, where there's going to be a special airing of Wave and Blaze, because it's going to be Dave's birthday and we are roasting him. And he's going to actually get a sweatshirt made for the event. If you have ever seen Dave's hairline, you want to make sure you don't miss this roast of EBL Dave for his birthday. We're also going to be running up his Cash App. Make sure you hit his Cash App for his birthday. It's $Dave312. And make sure you're also coming back to the EBL network, where we're going to be launching 2 more shows in the very near future. One of them is going to be King's Court. Yes, EBL King is going to be having his very own show here on the EBL network. We're also going to have Brills. EBL Brills is going to be hosting a show called Late Night L's. And again, you can always come back here on Sundays at 6 o'clock to celebrate with me on Nacho Sundays, whereas Nacho Opinion is Nacho's opinion. I also want to make sure that you are coming over to FiboNacciBrown.com and getting your copy of my book, Growing Down, The Masculinization of the Black American Woman. Make sure you get your copy before the sale ends. I am sending out personally autographed copies on the first batch of books. Once that batch is gone, I will definitely be putting the price back to regular price, and the autographed copies will definitely be more. So make sure you get over there, catch your sale price before the sale ends. I appreciate you guys for pulling up. Thank you so much for tuning in to Nacho Sundays. I will see you guys next week.
We appreciate everybody for stopping by. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. And don't just watch the battle, be part of the battle. All you got to do, look in the description, click the link to the Discord, be part of the audience live.